And in November, I have a dream. And this is the dream this is the only dream, well, I've had a couple since, but they're much shorter. This is the first dream where I really understood. I remembered every single detail when I woke up. Every detail. I remembered color. This is the first time I'd ever had a dream that had color. I was not in the color in the dream. I was in black and white. And in the sort of black and white area of the dream. So, in this dream, we're in a long line of people, and we're dressed in gray robes all the way down to our feet, sort of like you imagine monks being dressed. And but we're not talking, we're not moving around, we're not looking at each other, we don't know anybody, we're not trying to know anybody. We're just marching straight ahead. It's like we're on a plane, but there's no visible plane. It's just like we're suspended in this dark night sky. Very scary looking. And I wonder how far back in this line I am. Like, where are we going? And I lean out to my left, and the line just snakes around and disappears. And I think, well, I must be at the back of the line, right? So I look around, and the same thing in the back. And then I notice that we're going to pass by something, because there's this, like, bright yellow light coming out from up ahead on my right. And when I get there, thank goodness my dad had taken us to Sunday school, I look, and it's the Last Supper. So here are the disciples at the table. They're dressed in the colors that the colors would have been then, not bright red, but sort of brown red. And they're talking and they're eating. They're talking to each other. They're not paying us much attention. They are seated like Leonardo da Vinci painted. So that was probably God said, put them like that picture she knows. So I continue on, and then I look. Then I realize that Jesus is actually not at the table with the disciples. And so I look up ahead, and we're all going to pass by Jesus. Jesus is standing, and this is a reception line. So when I get up to Jesus, I look at him, and I have two revelations that are difficult to describe about me. Okay? The first revelation is that I'm made of all these individual cells. I actually have a sensation of recognizing that I'm a bunch of individual cells put together. Okay? And then immediately, I understand that it's 10 billion. I used to say millions, but my biology friends tell me it's 10 billion if you don't count your bacteria. So I have this revelation, and the next revelation is that every single cell in my body is filled with filth. Just filth. And then I can't look at Jesus anymore. So I just fall down at his feet, and I start to cry. And in the dream, Jesus leans over and puts his hands on my shoulders. And I feel what can only be described, I think, what's described in the Bible as the unsurpassing peace of God. You are so peaceful that it's almost like there's no such thing as gravity, right? You're so light, there's nothing holding you down.